Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. Historical collection from the archives of public institutions. And for the international news, Israel commits one of the most brutal genocide in modern history in Gaza. Welcome to our newsroom now. The details, His Excellency. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Haj Ismail Omar Guelleh, sent a message of congratulations to the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump, on the occasion of the U.S. National Day, in which he conveyed his best wishes to the President and to the friendly American people. In his message, the Djiboutian President emphasized the strength and depth of the friendly and cooperative relations between Djibouti and the United States, highlighting the strategic partnerships in the fields of economic development and energy, which are supported by the United States at the international level. His Excellency also underscored the fruitful cooperation in the areas of defense and security, considering it a testament to the mutual trust and shared vision between the two nations. The message concluded by reaffirming Djibouti's commitment to further strengthening the ties of friendship, solidarity and cooperation with the United States of America. In the same vein, a similar message was sent to the Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Mark Carney, expressing the depth of the relationship between Djibouti and Canada. On the occasion of Djibouti's Independence Day, French President Emmanuel Macron sent a telegram to the head of state of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, in which he expressed his warm congratulations to the President and the people of Djibouti. I am pleased to extend in my personal name and on the behalf of the French people my most sincere wishes for your country and for all Djiboutians to the French President State. The President Macron went on to express his appreciation for the quality of exchanges and cooperation between the two nations. France and Djibouti maintain a close and warm relationship. The depth of our cooperation is reflected in the number and quality of the projects we carry out together. He wrote, adding that the past year has allowed both countries to further strengthen the profound relationship of friendship and trust between them. Our discussions have enabled me to convey the particular importance I place on our cooperation, and I am pleased with the excellent working relationship we have developed, President Macron noted, also welcoming the fact that in recent years both countries have been working to expand their ties to bilateral economic cooperation and to extend their partnership into strategic fields such as space. President Macron also took the opportunity to express his satisfaction with the last year's renewal of the Defense Cooperation Treaty, which binds our two nations, and praised the fruitful series of recent collaboration efforts between the two nations. Our partnership is strengthening in response to global challenges, especially in finding shared responses to the environmental, economic, and security consequences of climate change. President Macron emphasized, citing the cooperation between the two nations on the Doctoral Alliance for Climate Change Adaptation project as an example of a new strategic partnership. President Macron concluded by commending the personal commitment of His Excellency President Ismail Omar Guelleh to peace and security in the Horn of Africa, and reiterated his determination to build a deeper and lasting cooperation in all fields between the two nations and their people. In addition to the French President, congratulatory telegrams were also sent to the head of state of Djibouti by His Serene Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco, the President of the Republic of Congo, the Chairman of the Presidential Leadership Council of the Republic of Yemen, the President of the Republic of Korea, and the President of Mongolia, among others, on the occasion of our country's Independence Day anniversary. And now, as I mentioned on the title, the National Archives Directorate held an official ceremony yesterday morning marking a significant milestone in the preservation of the nation's archival heritage. Under the high patronage of the President of the National Assembly, Mr. Dileita Mohamed Dileita, the Presidency, the National Assembly, and the Ministry of Labor carried out a coordinated and simultaneous transfer of their final archives to the National Archives. This initiative is part of the national program for the modernization of public archives led by the Ministry of Youth and Culture, with support from the General Secretary for the Government reflects a collective ambition to promote transparent governance, modernize public administration, and preserve institutional memory. The operation aims to safeguard the state's administrative and legislative heritage, approximately 800 legislative texts divided into 60 books covering the 60th and 70th legislative terms, 1963 to 73, of the former National Assembly. Furthermore, 20,801 documents issued by the presidency were documented in the archives, divided into 261 boxes. The Ministry of Labor, for its part, submitted the first batch of final archives concerning civil servants, reflecting the evolution of public administration and civil service pathways. The ceremony was attended by Mr. Dileita Mohammed Dileita, Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Almis Mohammed Abdullah, the General Secretary of the Government, Mr. Omar Abdi Saeed, the Minister of Labor, and Mr. Mohammed Warsam Diri, Minister of Trade and Tourism, and Acting Minister of Youth and Culture, Mr. Mohammed Hussein Duali, Director General of the National Agency for Cultural Development. Following speeches, representatives of the three institutions and the General Manager of the National Agency for Cultural Development signed the official transfer documents that confirming the legal and physical handover of the archives. The National Archives Directorate will now be responsible for preserving, securing, and providing long-term access to these documents in accordance with the international standards. In his speech, the Secretary General of the Government, Mr. Almis Mohammed Abdullah, praised the transparent and historically significant initiatives, emphasizing its role in strengthening the rule of law and civic education. And now in their speeches, both the Minister of Labor and the Minister of Trade, Acting Minister of Youth and Culture, emphasized the importance of the archive transfer as a pivotal step reflecting the evolution and progress of public administration. They stressed that these documents serve as a cornerstone for promoting transparency and building a strong institutional memory that supports state stability and contributes to the development of public policies in the interest of society. The Minister of Trade and Acting Minister of Youth and Culture also underscored the need to strengthen a modern archiving culture, calling for the adoption of contemporary methods in the preservation and documentation of official records. In the same context, the National Agency for Archives and Records renewed its call to all public institutions to continue this valuable momentum in the field of archiving. The minister concluded his speech by affirming that the history of any nation is built and preserved through continuous care for its archives, praising the vital role played by archivists who though often out of the spotlight from the backbone of the nation's documentary heritage. And now for his part, Mr. Dileita Mohammed Dileita emphasized that the transfer of archives is not merely an administrative formality, but rather a profound national duty that reflects our deep respect for our collective history and contributes to strengthening our national sovereignty and identity. He stressed that the preservation of this invaluable documentary heritage constitutes a cornerstone for promoting good governance, ensuring transparency, and fostering accountability. It is also plays a key role in supporting the development of resilient and effective public institutions capable of serving citizens efficiently and advancing the goals of inclusive and sustainable development. And now a formal ceremony was held today at Beit El Mendi restaurant to honor the members of the Djiboutian Pilgrims Affairs Office in recognition of their dedication and competence during the 2025 Hajj season. The ceremony was presided over by the Minister of Islamic Affairs and Waqf Properties, Mr. Mu'min Hassan Barre, in the presence of all members of official Hajj delegation, administrative officials, and a number of distinguished guests. Each member of the office received an official certificate of appreciation as a token of the Ministry's gratitude for their exemplary contribution to the organization of Hajj affairs. The ceremony concluded with a friendly lunch-on in a warm, convivial atmosphere, celebrating the collective satisfaction and shared achievement. It is worth noting that 1,400 Djiboutian pilgrims performed Hajj this year under the supervision of the official delegation accredited by the Minister of Islamic Affairs. Efficient organization played a key role in the success of this year's pilgrimage season. The Director of Islamic Affairs and head of the 2025 official Hajj delegation, Mr. Ismail Hassan, expressed his deep gratitude to the Minister Momin Hassan Barre for his ongoing support and continuous effort on behalf of the Pilgrims Affairs Office. He also announced that the 2026 Hajj campaign will officially launch on September 7th, 2025, in accordance with the directives of the Saudi authorities. He added that the ministry is planning to launch a wide awareness campaign to prepare future pilgrims and ensure that next year's Hajj season is conducted in the best way possible. And now the Minister of Islamic Affairs, Mr. Momin Hassan Barre, praised the exceptional efforts made by the members of the Pilgrims Affairs Office during the 2025 Hajj season. In his speech at the honoring ceremony, the minister emphasized the distinguished efforts of the Pilgrims Affairs Office members, highlighting their crucial role in smoothly managing the journey of Djiboutian pilgrims in Mecca, Medina, as well as the sacred site of Mina, Arafah, and Muzdalifah. The minister affirmed that the success of 2025 Hajj season was the result of the dedication and high level of commitment demonstrated by the office members, noting their diligence, patience, and sense of responsibility. Also, yesterday, Thursday, ceremony was held at the Industrial Commercial High School to mark the conclusion of an intensive 2-week training course dedicated to photovoltaic energy systems. The ceremony was chaired by the General Secretary of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training in the presence of Turkish Ambassador, the coordinator of Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, TICA. About 30 trainees from the vocational education sector benefited from this training, which represent an important step in developing local skills in the field of renewable energy. This training was organized jointly by the TICA, the Directorate General of Vocational Training, and the General Inspectorate of Education under the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training. It exemplifies the excellent cooperation between Turkey and Djibouti in the field of technical and vocational training, reflecting a shared commitment to develop local skills and promoting the use of renewable energy. Both the Secretary General of Ministry and the Turkish Ambassador emphasized the importance of this initiative, expressing their desire to continue and strengthen such partnerships in the future, considering this training a crucial step towards enhancing the capacity of local staff in the renewable energy sector. The General Secretary of the MENFOP, Mr. Mohammed Abdullah Bayoub, praised the importance of this training in supporting the state's efforts towards a sustainable energy transition, affirming that qualifying local personnel in the field of renewable energy is a fundamental pillar in developing vocational training and achieving future energy sovereignty. The coordinator of Turkish Cooperation and the Coordination Agency, TICA, expressed for his part his pleasure with the strong partnership between his country and Djibouti, confirming the agency's commitment to continue supporting capacity building programs, particularly in strategic sectors such as vocational training and renewable energy. Yesterday, Thursday, July 3rd, the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurships hosted the official graduation ceremony for 32 newly certified trainers in agricultural cooperative management within the framework of the Resilient Agricultural Production Chain Support Project implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture. This intensive 25-day training course was organized in partnership with the International Finance Corporation through the Agribusiness Leadership Program. It aimed to qualify national competencies capable of supporting the organization and governance of agricultural cooperatives regarded as a fundamental pillar of the rural economy. Among 36 participants from diverse backgrounds, including academics, technicians, and representatives of a professional agricultural organization, 32 graduates were selected. The trainees received education in democratic governance principles, entrepreneurial management, strategic planning, and cooperative accounting. This initiative is part of the FAR project strategy, which seeks to support the development and agricultural growth hubs in the regions of Duda, Mulud, Gorombara, Holhol, and Point 25 through investment in rural infrastructure, assistance to investors and the agricultural sector, and also enhancement of priority value chains. The speech of the General Manager of the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, Mr. Shahim Mohammed, emphasized that this program is part of a pioneering project implemented with the support of the World Bank and the International Finance Corporation. He expressed his gratitude to the IFC and the World Bank for their confidence in Djibouti's potential, affirming that this center will continue working in collaboration with the ministry and its partners to translate today's achievement into tangible outcomes on the ground. He added that this joint effort embodies the government's ambition and aims to enhance the competitiveness and resilience of agricultural and food value chains, which is crucial for the development of the country's agricultural sector. And for his part, the program coordinator highlighted that pioneering agricultural projects aim to build sustainable, inclusive, and competitive rural economies that serve women, youth, and pastoral farming communities in general. The representative of the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Ali, has stated that Djibouti's agricultural sector faces significant challenges, including weak structuring, limited financing, fragile infrastructure, and heavy reliance on food imports. Despite these challenges, promising opportunities exist, such as untapped arable land, livestock potential, and growing demand for local products and modern agricultural technologies. He added that the country has begun a strategic shift towards self-sufficient agricultural and a well-being organized agri-food sector that is competitive and resilient, supported by the development partners like the World Bank and the African Development Bank. Now we're going to on last Wednesday, the Sovereign Carbon Agency organized an awareness campaign at both the Casino Haramous and Cash Center as part of collective efforts to reduce single-use plastic and promote sustainable, eco-friendly alternatives. In partnership with the Kubesh Foundation, the initiative aimed to raise public awareness about the environmental risks posed by plastic pollution and encourage citizens, companies, and institutions to adopt more responsible environmental practices. Sovereign Carbon announced plans to continue this educational program through a series of practical activities in the coming weeks, reaffirming its commitment to supporting Djibouti's environmental transition, focusing on environmental education, recycling, and reducing the carbon footprint. And now Mrs. Qoran, the coordinator of the program, indicated that this initiative is part of a growing global movement to reduce dependence on plastic and encourage more sustainable consumption. Partners with Sovereign Carbon and its partners striving to make Djibouti an active and influential player in this transition toward a better environmental future. And now, following a successful consultative workshop held in Djibouti City and the high patronage of the Ministry of Interior, Mr. Said Noor Hassan, the development process of the National Social Cohesion Strategy continues in the Arta region. This workshop and accompanying meetings were organized under the supervision of the Prefect of the region, Mr. Hassan Dabele, with the presence of the Region Council President, Mr. Ilmi Bouhakoud Adde, a technical advisor from the Ministry of Interior, and other officials. Over 50 local stakeholders from public and private sector and civil society participated actively, discussing key priorities for social cohesion in Arta. This step forms a part of Djibouti Vision 2035 and builds on a process initiated in 2021 by the Ministry of Interior with support from the UNDP and development partners. Arta represents the second phase of this ambitious national project, which will extend to other interior regions to foster a more inclusive and cohesive society. Mr. Hassan Dabeli, the prefect of Arta, expressed his happiness to host the regional consultation on the social cohesion strategy, stressing that this meeting is a continuation of the capital sessions and a valuable opportunity to enhance participation approaches at the local level. Now in Dikhil, the Regional Council Hall in Dikhil hosted the launch ceremony of the project awarded the 2025 Presidential Prize implemented by the Modern Association with support from the Ministry of Women and Family. The project aims to empower women, address the effects of climate change through environmental activities such as planting climate-resilient trees, creating green spaces, and promoting sustainable practices in rural communities. The ceremony was attended by the prefect of Dikhil, the president of the regional council, representative from the National Agency for Community Development, and the Ministry of Women and Family, alongside local women leaders from Dikhil and neighboring areas. During the event, the chairwoman of the association expressed her deep gratitude to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, for directly honoring this initiative and praised the support of the First Lady, Mrs. Khadra Mohammed Haid, and the Ministry of Women and Family for Women's Empowerment projects. In his word, the prefect of the the Ad-Dikhil region, Mr. Hassan Abdi Robleh, praised the initiative as a vivid example of a local response to global challenges led effectively and committedly by women. He called for enhanced coordination between public institutions, associations, and technical partners to ensure the project's success before officially declaring the event open. And now for the international news, as I mentioned in the title, UN Special Rapporteur accuses Israel of atrocities in Gaza. The details in this video.
United Nations Special Reporter on the occupied Palestinian territories, Francesca Albanese, accused Israel of carrying out one of the most brutal genocide in the modern history in Gaza Strip, stating that the Gaza Strip has become a weapon testing laboratory in the absence of effective international protection for Palestinians. Speaking before the Human Rights Council, Francesca Albanese estimated that the death toll exceed 200,000 killed, while emphasizing that health experts consider this figure to be a significant underestimate. She described the situation in Palestinian territories as apocalyptic and called for a total international arms embargo on Israel, as well as the immediate suspension of all trade and investment relations. She denounced the Israeli humanitarian mechanism in Gaza Strip, calling it a death trap responsible for hundreds of deaths, and criticized the colossal profit made by arms manufacturers that fueled the war, noting that 85,000 tons of explosive, 6 times the power of a Hiroshima bomb, were dropped on Gaza Strip. Francesca Albanese highlighted 113% increase in Tel Aviv stock exchange since October 2023.
This is it for this 9 p.m. English News Edition. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for more on RTD.